Good afternoon, Madam Prime Minister. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. Alain.
It is so nice to hear your voice.
Oh, thank you so much.
It is so nice to hear your voice. And, I just wanted to ask you just a couple questions
Certainly.
with respect to the Venezuela intends to suspend Energy Corporation. Madam Prime Minister, how does your government respond to Vice President Delcy Rodriguez's announcement of intentions to speak with President Nicolas Maduro with the view of suspending all energy agreements with Trinidad and Tobago?
Well, Ian, thank you. I will respond to your question, but let me also say I'm very happy to hear your voice as well. And it's been a few days we haven't spoken for a while, but it's always good to hear your voice. And I know all of Trinidad and Tobago, and I understand other Caribbean islands also love to hear your voice. So thank you for sharing your voice with me this evening.
Madam Prime Minister, with all due respect, you are fully aware of what I'm doing.
Yes, I am, and you're doing great work. Continue with your good work.
Thank you. So tell me, with respect to Delcy Rodriguez's announcement of intention to speak with President Nicolas Maduro with the view of suspending all energy agreements with Trinidad and Tobago. Tell me.
Okay. First of all, the government of Trinidad and Tobago has not received any official conversation or policy decisions. There's been nothing official to the government of Trinidad and Tobago. But let me say, this may be of concern to some, but it is definitely not of great concern to Trinidad and Tobago, because why? Our future does not depend on Venezuela, and never was or has, because we have plans and projects to grow our economy, both within the energy and the non-energy sector. So the last government mistakenly placed all the eggs in that one dragon basket. We have not done so, and therefore we are not susceptible to any blackmail from Venezuela for political support. We continue to maintain very peaceful relations with the people of Venezuela, and we have not had any energy discussions with the government since we came into office with the Venezuelan government.
Okay.
We have not had any energy discussions with them since we came into office. So that is my take on that. Whilst it may concern some, our aim is to diversify economy within the energy sector and in the non-energy sector as well.
Ma'am, could you elaborate a little more on diversifying the economy with respect to non-energy sector and energy sector?
Definitely. We have plans and projects in the tourism sector. We also have some plans and projects in the agricultural sector, and several other projects in various ministries that are non-energy matters for diversification. We are also looking at, one second. Yes, we've also will be launching next week a full discussion and consultation with stakeholders, that is with the state enterprises sector, with the private sector, and of course the government sector. We intend to launch next week. We roll out some of those plans and projects in more detail next week, when you can get some more details about it. But we are not putting all our eggs in the energy basket, and most certainly we are not putting all the eggs in the dragon basket.
Ma'am, how do you describe the Vice President Delcy Rodriguez's statement accusing Trinidad and Tobago of collaborating with CIA to wage a war on Venezuela? What's your reaction to her claim?
Well, again, I have no official communication from that, but I can answer. That is not true. What is taking place now are joint training exercises between the U.S. and our military here for improving our internal security. And I will share with you here, and I stand by my words, no one, whether it's the Venezuelan government, CARICOM, or any other entity, no one will pressure us or blackmail my government into retreating from the fight against drug cartels. So you know what? You must be as I am, because you're on that beat. Mm-hmm. We are tired of seeing our citizens murdered, terrorized because of gang violence, driven by drugs illegally, arms trafficking, human trafficking. The safety of our citizens is my duty and my main concern, and we will do what we can to keep them safe and make them safer.
As we continue, Madam Prime Minister, U.S. military cooperation in the USS Gravely visit. The arrival of the U.S. Gravely and joint exercises with the Trinidad and Tobago Defense Force have drawn criticism from Venezuela. How do you respond to concerns that Trinidad and Tobago is being used as a base for U.S. military operation? That's what they're saying, that Trinidad is being used as a base.
But that is certainly not true. Absolutely untrue. We are not being used as a base. We have had ships come here before. Ship came now, and ships will come after, because we have a history of cooperation with the United States. And you must remember, the United States is one of the largest nations, one of our largest trading partners, and of course we have a history of cooperation between the two nations. So I say categorically,
so there is an agreement.
We have no plan. We have no plan. We have no plan. No plans for Trinidad to be used as a base for any military interventions anywhere else.
How do you balance national security cooperation with the U.S. while maintaining good relations with your regional neighbors?
We maintain that we have good relations and all good things for the people of Venezuela. We stand in solidarity with the people of Venezuela, and I can balance it in that regard, because that is our intent. We have no intention, as I say, of trying to be able to use as a base. There's been no such request from the U.S., and instead requests for training and help, even humanitarian projects, like these militiamen who are here could help us with projects at schools, or even some of our dilapidated bases, military bases in the country. So that is what this visit is about, that military cooperation for training and for humanitarian benefits as well to the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Do you think that you have full support from your regional heads in what's happening?
Well,
Go ahead.
It is clear. I'll be burying my head in the sand if I were to say yes. It is very clear that some of our CARICOM partners have taken a different view by talking about a zone of peace. But there is no zone of peace in Trinidad and Tobago. Maybe there's a zone of peace in some of those other CARICOM neighbors, because they are further north. We are the closest here to the mainland. And of course, we are being hit, I think, really seriously hit with the drug trafficking, the gangs, the cartels, the human trafficking, the gun running. That is not happening in their country, because they are not having 600 murders in a year, The level of their crime is not what is happening in Trinidad and Tobago. So they are saying it's a zone of peace, keep a zone of peace. But Trinidad and Tobago is definitely not a zone of peace. We have witnessed too many murders, too much crime, and too much drug running, human trafficking, gun running to Trinidad and Tobago. So CARICOM is proving to be an unreliable partner in some regards, because they chose Venezuela over Trinidad. They chose Venezuela over Trinidad. And that is something we need to remember.
Madam Prime Minister, seeing that you're speaking about CARICOM, and I'm sure you're aware that the Hurricane Melissa and Trinidad and what's happening in Jamaica. As the Prime Minister, what is your government doing to assist our national and students affected by Hurricane Melissa in Jamaica?
Well, first of all, we talk of the students, and then if you allow me, I'll talk about what we will do to help Jamaica, with the onslaught of this hurricane. So Minister Solbers gave a very comprehensive statement of what Trinidad and Tobago did. We offered airlift out of Jamaica for our students. Some responded, some did not. Those who remained, our High Commission in Jamaica have been liaising with them, providing them with supplies. And of course, no planes could leave after a certain point of time. The airports were closed there in Jamaica. And I think we've done our share of trying to help them in the best way we can.
Accommodation.
For those who did not accept, we did not accept our offer for airlift. Some of them, some did, and we brought them home. And remember, these students are adults. They're not the children. Of course, they're somebody's children, but they're adults. at university. We did offer the helping hand. Some took it. Some I was told, and I cannot verify, but I was advised that some students were waiting, watching the Met reports, and hoping this too shall pass.
Yeah.
And by the time they probably decided they wanted to come, the airports were closed. We could not bring them. Other countries have done the same. Other CARICOM nations did not even send in airlift for their students. I think we were one of the few that sent in airlift and offered airlift with Caribbean Airlines.
Some made a decision to stay.
Yes.
But you know, Madam Prime Minister.
For some of them, maybe some made a decision to stay, or some made the decision not to take up the offer, and some only caught onto it when it became too late, when the airports were closed.
You know, I want to tell you thanks again.
I think we also did some airlift for Bajan students as well. I've been advised about 25 Bajan students. We assisted with their airlift back to their home.
You know, Madam Prime Minister, and I will tell you this. What you are telling me here, 3/4 of Trinidad and Tobago don't know that you had extended, that assistance for those stranded in Jamaica and what you did. And I am asking you, and I'm asking you publicly and live where millions of people are watching, is it possible that some of your ministers, when they do these things, that they could send that information to our media house?
Well, I was under the view that it was being sent to your media house, so I will check up on that, Ian.
Yeah.
Make sure that you get it because you have such a large coverage.
Yeah.
So we will look into that.
Thank you again. And before we end, and what exactly is Trinidad and doing for Jamaica on a whole, with respect to assistance and whatnot?
Certainly, I communicated with Prime Minister Holness earlier today, of course, pledging our support and extending our prayers and best wishes for the government and people of Jamaica. But in addition, I've already begun mobilizing support for Jamaica, our solidarity with that government and with the people there. And we've already begun to mobilize supplies to be sent to Jamaica. Prime Minister Holness indicated to me that I said we would be sending food supplies and essential services, but I asked if he could, when he can, in the aftermath, if he could let us know if there may be specific things that they need. So we may consider human resource, technical expertise, and of course, essential food items, and any other matters that would be reasonable for us to assist them. But that process has already begun. After speaking with Prime Minister, after communicating with Prime Minister Holness, I put a team in place. They've been meeting several hours today. Tomorrow I'll be meeting that team as we plan to move. We are mobilizing, and we are calling upon our citizens here who would like to help, who are in a position to help, that if they will also donate relief supplies for the people of Jamaica.
Madam Prime Minister, before we go, I just wanted to find out, tomorrow the SOE ends, tomorrow October the 20th. The state of emergency is set to expire tomorrow. Does your government intend to extend it?
One moment, please. The answer to that is yes, Ian. The Commissioner of Police has given to our Attorney General and other members of the National Security Council the recommendation that the SOE be extended. That has now been, the motion to do so has now been placed on the order paper by the Parliament for debate on Friday of this week at 1:30 p.m.
So it will be extended?
We will go to the Parliament with a motion to approve the extension.
On Friday, well, you have to go to Parliament. But before we go, are you satisfied with the results that you have gotten so far?
I think so. I mean, I'm seeing your number up there on your screen. Murder Toll 2025, which will be some during their time, some our time. They also have SOE. We have the SOE. I've seen 307 murders. And if you remember, at the same time, last year, under the PNM, it would have been far more than that.
537 last year. Last year, this same day, it was 537.
Yes, 557. So that is a tremendous reduction in the murder rate. And there's something else here, and before we go off on this stuff. The PNM seems to be forever, they're fighting up and fighting down everything. For example, they did, when they are commenting about what we are doing in the fight against crime, supporting the U.S. Intervention in the Southcom, it appears like they want to support the traffickers, the drug traffickers and the human traffickers. Then they seem to want to support the home invaders because they're fighting on the Stand Your Ground bill. Incarcerated gang leaders, the deputy leader of the PNM is fighting to get an incarcerated gang leader out of jail. And then they call upon Minister Alexander to disclose undercover leakers, suppliers, and so on, which will then expose
But you can't do that, sir. You can't do
and
that.
Also, the drones, they're talking about, they want to know about the drones and the surveillance. We can't do that. Those are national security issues. Again, they seem to be on the side of the criminals. That's what the PNM's running narrative is about.
Okay.
We cannot stand for that. We stand firm. We stand our ground. And we'll do the best we can to ensure greater safety and security for the people of TnT.
Well, Madam Prime Minister, I must say it was so nice speaking with you. And I'm sure
Yes, thank you.
everything that I asked you here, the nation, I'm sure the viewers are happy all over, or the Caribbean, everybody's happy, and those who are watching in Trinidad and Tobago, outside of Trinidad and Tobago, they are happy, and and now they are aware of what exactly is going on, and your plans and so. So I want to tell you thanks. I really want to tell you thanks, and I wish you all the best. And I want to tell you this:
Thank
you're
you.
doing well. You're doing well. You're doing well.
Thank you. But before you go, Ian, you and all right-thinking citizens of Trinidad and Tobago know we put TnT first. TnT first. That is our aim and that is our goal. And thank you very much for this opportunity.
Thank you, Madam Prime Minister. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you again.
Two blessings. Bye.
Thank you. Well, ladies and gentlemen.